Hi, Claire. Hi, Lila. Hi, friends. Today we have another
Papa?
and Nene show for you. It's a beautiful day in Woodbury. The sun's out, blue sky. So we thought we would make our video outside today. As usual, Papa's going to start with
Joke.
a joke. Papa?
I only have one joke this time, so here it is. Why did the student eat his homework? Do you have any idea? Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake.
Brother, Papa.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty good one. Told him it was a piece of cake. I like that one. So we decided, in honor of Lila's assignment that she had from her kindergarten teacher today, that we saw, which was outstanding, we would also do the same assignment, Lila. And her assignment was to write 4 sentences that begin with "in the spring." And her sentences were amazing. So well written. So we decided we would do the same ones. So Papa, you can start. Why don't you do one, then I'll do one. Go ahead.
In the spring, I like to play golf.
In the spring, I love to go to the playground and push Lila and Claire on the swings. Just have to say, a little side note, Lila's so good at pumping herself now. I barely have to push her at all, but she does let me give her a start. Papa?
In the spring, I like to watch baseball.
In the spring, I love to see the candy-colored tulips in the garden.
In the spring, I sit on my deck and drink my coffee in the morning.
We do. In the spring, I love to see people running, walking, and bike riding in brightly colored shorts, their hair blowing in the wind.
In the spring, I switch from wearing long pants to wearing shorts.
Woo woo.
Pretty soon now, April 15th is the day on the calendar that I have marked to switch from my jeans to my shorts. So
We'll see if that works out for you,
another
Papa.
week.
In the spring, I love to watch Claire and Lila ride their bikes and scooters. And we just saw Claire, with Lila's wonderful support and help, riding her scooter all by herself, like scootering with her foot. And it was amazing. Way to go. And I just want to add one more. In the spring, I love to see Abby and Amanda with their hair up in a ponytail. Okay. So Lila, that's what we wanted to do because we loved your in the spring sentences so much. Okay. Now I have a story. It's one of my favorites.
Papa's going to say goodbye.
Papa's going to video the story for Nene. No, I'm going to stand up.
Oh, you
So
are?
you're going to hold the camera.
Okay, I guess.
And I'm going to share this with you. And it's one of my favorites. It's by an author named Maurice Sendak. And it's kind of a good story for this time. And it's about a little boy named Max. And we'll talk about it when I'm finished. Okay, Papa. Turn it around so you see me.
I can't.
Do you need some help?
Yeah, turn it around. I can't turn it around.
Okay.
So I thought we weren't going to do that.
Okay, I guess we're not. I don't know why it doesn't. Oh, here. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to sit down and read my story. I was really hoping to stand up, but, you know, we're kind of not that great.
Living as we go.
We're not that great at the whole videoing, so if ever watching this, have a good chuckle. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. About this little boy, I told you. And his name is Max. Let me turn the video. Hopefully I can make it so you can see the pages. Okay. About a little boy named Max. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, or another. What kind of mischief is Max making? Looks to me like he's chasing his puppy dog with a fork in his hand. His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was told to go to bed without eating anything. Has that ever happened to you where you've done something and maybe your mom or your dad has told you you need to take a break? Maybe you need to go into your room. Maybe you need to go sit someplace quiet. But Max's mom said, you're going to bed without eating anything. She wasn't happy with Max. That very night, when Max went into his room, a forest grew. Now we know what a forest is. Something happened in his room. What do you see in there that looks like a forest? Right. Trees, leaves, and grew. And grew with his ceiling hung with vines and the walls becoming the world all around. How would you like that to happen in your room? Would you feel scared? Would you feel excited? Do you think Max looks frightened or brave? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. How do you think Max looks now? Where do you think this boat might be taking him? Have you ever been in a boat? Maybe you've been in a canoe, a kayak maybe, a sailboat. They can take you far away places if you're brave. Max looks pretty happy right now. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Well, I'm not so sure Max is feeling so brave right now. What kind of wild things? Can you describe him? He's got a long nose and sharp teeth and horns out of his head and yellow eyes. I'd say he's kind of a frightening looking wild thing. Let's see. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. Let me hear you roar. That was loud. Can you gnash your teeth? It's kind of like scraping them back and forth. So they make a loud noise. And rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. If I were Max, I might be wishing I could go back home. Till Max said, "Be still!" still, and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And he's staring into your eyes right now. Try having a staring contest when we're done with our story. And made him king of all the wild things. His trick really worked. Now they were afraid of him and wanted him to be the leader. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. You ever heard of a rumpus? What do you think it might be? Turn the page and see. Oh, does it look like a fun rumpus? Do you think they're gnashing their teeth and roaring and having fun? I bet you've been a wild thing sometimes. I bet you've had a rumpus when you felt like being a wild thing, like these guys. Which one's your favorite? Kind of like the one in the striped pajamas. More ruckus. More wild times. Look at these guys. Max is certainly getting his share of wild times as in wild things. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Lonely where someone loved you best of all. I know where that might be. In fact, I definitely know where that would be. Do you? Where someone loves you best of all. Let's see if it's the same place Max is thinking of. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." Well, it's kind of a crazy way to show somebody you love them by eating them up. But after all, they're wild things. And Max said, "No. No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into the private boat and waved goodbye. He was having none of that. Remember, he wants to go where he's best loved. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. Let's see if you were right about where he's headed. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. Where the wild things are. And sometimes when we're feeling wild and we run a ruckus and we don't get our own way, and we're thinking, where could we go and what could we do? Maybe we'll take a little adventure just like Max did. But when it was all said and done, he knew he needed to come home to where he's loved the most. And I love you. Be good. Have a sweet evening. Nene and Papa love you.